the event. Dominant fashion versus the Ravens. But like I said, Miami are a different beast. They've already tested exposure on the day, and their issue was at P3. Yeah. Adjustments need to be in for Heretics.
It's all about rotation, my friends, all about rotation. Well, here we go. Last match of the day. Someone going home sad. The other a chance to continue this lower bracket run. Miami, Vancouver, and we're getting it on exposure to get things kicked off. And solid start here for Vancouver. Clear out your lanes, make sure no subs get through, and you're already scoring early.
Yeah, now if you are Miami, taking your time on this approach for the re-break. You had one player who spawned out in traits. You're looking for him to be the initiator. He strikes alongside Rencore. That's 3 dead. Make it all 4. The break is quick. They're for Heretics.
And you can start to put a little bit of pressure down towards tank side. Abe is already meeting it there, though. I will say, for Surge, based on their roster, you kind of like the idea of playing exposure. Let Abe be flexible, let TJ be flexible, and then lock everything down around you. Abe now playing over towards the staircase side, has a couple of friends nearby, but not able to really cleanly get the wins that they're looking for. Finally, they're able to find the clearance, and just as P2 opens, the Surge are in.
Yeah, it's a 2v2 off the rotation for these fights. Spawn's currently in favor of Surge, but you lose that initial, lose the second fight. Instant break there for Miami with Rencore already streaking. Now you got to find an avenue of approach. How do we break this? You're banking on Lunars, trying to get behind enemy lines. At the same time, Rencore's doing it on the opposite end, and they're finding all the kills. So Vancouver, you need to get in sync.
Yeah, you really do. That's already a Hellstorm earned for Rencore off that streak. Abe seen over the top at the jump wall. Super chasing him down, and Miami are just trying to control the space, but Abe's gonna come back to the gunfight, have a real good chance at it. Super able to still find the win, now 4 in a row, and slipping away from the rest of the Surge spawners. Has Gwyn in front, but again, just validating his life, backing out and letting his teammates soak up time.
Yeah, Gwyn and Lunars need to stay alive on this side of the map, because it's only a 30, 40 point difference if you soak up this final 10, but you'll be down 100 if you lose these spawns over towards the next HP. Thankfully, you find kills. Last one standing is going to be Meadows towards the backside. He's just trying to value his life, go unaccounted for, but he's getting sniffed out. They just don't find the kill.
Clean, still full health. Miami now starting to frame things up from the front. You do get a couple of squad spawns though for Surge, read perfectly by Metals, but he's under pressure. Help on the way from Rencore, the exact man that you'd want for the job. Now watching the cross from platform side, deals with the opener. From the front windows, Super also finds a win. So now Surge are a bit staggered, trying to get their way back into the hill.
Yeah, but they're still in the hard point. Gwyn is valuing his life as long as he can. Now the reinforcements are here to bombard their way through the back door. I would have loved to see Rencore be the aggressor and not wait for those spawners, because you had the numbers to get the break there. But now with 25 seconds left, you don't want to be spawning towards the backside. Gwyn is starting to light it up in the kill feed. Only gets 1. It's now Lunar's turn to potentially pick up the rest for the final 15. But Vancouver have surged their way back into this game off of a great hold.
Easy pun there, my friend, easy pun. Lunar's another hot start though, 10-6. Has us at a tie game, and Vancouver, you look at the minimap, set up for new. Just comes down to, again, can we see a solid hold, especially in the face of the early Hellstorm? That's going to have everyone scrambling, looking for cover inside the hill. Miami have to wait on this outside push until all of this extra ordnance gets called in. Abe stays alive. The main missile also comes up empty. You need to win these next gunfights, though. Abe was to find the first. That's going to keep spawns blocked for now, as he finds a little bit of help. Maybe positive for the players in the hill, but they're dealing with issues of their own, and now it's just down to if you can win your individual fights.
And they're still doing it from the hard point, so time is in their possession. Spawns are in Miami's. And now you have the numbers to reinforce your way right through the front door. Every single angle that you choose, just got to take care of Gwyn, and Rencore is able to find it. So a good chunk of time here for Miami. A team that struggles on breaking, it helps when the Hellstorm allows you to get pushed up on the map. Basically have a tie game at the end of P4, now it comes down to P5.
Dude, Trakes is feeling it. Now he's got a Hellstorm earned. 5 in a row for him, starting to move across the map and gets caught by Abe there at mid. Trade for Super, not gonna be there as Abe gets an impressive double. Has Surge with an edge over towards the drone hardpoint. Gwyn staying down for the early time, and that's gonna force out Trakes with the Hellstorm early.
Yeah, just trying to get them out of positionings. At least in the numbers advantage at the time. You win that one-on-one gunfight. Everybody else from Surge sitting at top window. So you have top mid, but Heretics are in the hard point for now, and you're losing the gunfights through top mid, so Miami have a good chance of holding this.
They're looking like it. Metals, some issue there. Not a lot of help from inside the hill. Super had his attention elsewhere, but Rencore cleaning up mid. Gets his AR locked back down, and Trakes has the easy gunfight to finish things off. Metals right there with him. So chance here for Miami to take their first significant lead. 20 seconds to fight, and Vancouver are splitting their focus, trying to win back middle while also seeing if they can contest the hill.
Yeah, we don't really want to go through bottom dirt, but when you go through top mid, this guy is making you pay for it. 20-7. Hellstorm again in the back pocket for Redcore. Popping takeover on this opening map on a 9 streak. Trying to look for kill number 10. When you better chow this correctly, because that was almost a highlight reel. You get the trade. Miami at the end of the first set up by 20. But Redcore, you got to slow him down.
I will say that. I mean, the other part about this conversation, let's do some service here to Vancouver. They're only down 15 points and they've already lived through 2 Hellstorms. So they're doing a decent job of keeping themselves in it. But you can definitely feel Miami building these streaks may lead towards the trends that very well dictate the outcome of this map. 121 playing 105. Hardpoint now in the name of Miami as Vancouver are spawning all over the map.
Yeah, Vancouver has so many angles to approach this from, and now you're finding kills that you were looking for. 2 in the feed in favor of Vancouver. Make it all 3, and you had 1 guy working on the pinch. So you have cleared out the space in middle, but now you're losing the numbers. Can't work your way back in for the time. But in the final 10 seconds, rotation in the back of your mind, you can already see TJ in a position that he needs to be, but he's going to be overwhelmed. Got to choose a good corner.
Yeah, needs to at least get 1. He's taking the early edge. Finds the first. Rancor going to call in the 3rd Miami Hellstorm, and we're just getting to the 2nd P2. Trades across the map have even numbers as TJ's looking for cover. Missile looking to try to guide his way over to Gwyn, who stays alive and finds himself now in the hardpoint. If Vancouver can find maybe a win or 2, maybe they survive through this, but the numbers are starting to brew here for the Heretics, and they're finding every kill on the map.
Oh yeah, stuns and nades are hitting everybody sitting at half HP in the dream. And that's a clean 4 dead from Miami. Off of the back of that, another Hellstorm, like you said. 30-point lead, and you can grow it even more because the spawns for Surge are so damn far away. You're looking for the opening kill. Abe is able to find 1. TJ finds a 2nd, and that's already 3 dead. And you got the pinch on the opposite side, so a great moment for Surge to not only take the lead, potentially with this final time, but win the rotation to P3 where they got a full 60 last go around.
This feels almost familiar towards what Miami was showing us in the first instance on this map where, yeah, they're rotating well, but they're getting broken so quickly. So Vancouver will get the scrap time. If they can track down Metals, they will have a really good opening look here at 3. Exchange on the exit kills comes through. Metals tries to step his way in, finds the first, but is traded. 1 more player in Super, though. Does spawn along the back. TJ eyes up, able to find the win, and a great moment here for Vancouver.
Read the parallels, man, and Miami needed to fix their P3 setups, and so far they have yet to get a point again in this different matchup because all the space is being secured by Surge. They take the lead. Lunar's now streaking, Abe now streaking, and you're forcing Miami to work this backside when they really don't want to.
I mean, things looking really solid here for the Surge, like you mentioned. Miami kind of in desperation mode, in Vancouver clear the field. Have a chance to get the scrap and rotate as we jump and listen in with Vancouver. We had listening audio earlier today, didn't we?
He's on the back side.
Yo, I'm one off his street. I have a drop kill. Yeah. I will from hill.
I'm going to be all left. Yeah, left or two lower. 1 deep, 1 deep, 1 deep.
I'm
in. I don't have anything. I don't have anything.
I fall in front.
Back left. Dead. Back left on me.
All left now.
Nice. Let's go.
Back up first.
Missing one.
Missing Rick. Back right.
Yo, I'm close to streaks. I'm so good.
I'm top solar. I'm just staying alive. Top solar. One shot solar.
Yeah, top solar.
Watch your side.
I need help.
Down in front.
He's in front.
I don't see anything front.
Center dead.
Nice. Side. One more. Not touch. Super.
Mid.
Front door.
Hello, Vancouver. Where has this been? Lunar is having a career day, and now all of a sudden, it's a spark for the rest of the squad as they find themselves up big.
They are just Lanimals, and now you got Hellstorms galore to rain them down over at the P5. You only need 9 seconds to close this game out. Miami needs to play perfect Call of Duty from this point on. You're finding kills, you're getting your trades, but it's all about this Hellstorm setup.
You got split spawns too. Vancouver are going to reap the benefit of being in a surrounding position. TJ Hellstorm being called in. There's the clearance on the hill. You got to make a desperate move if you're Trace, and he does find 2. That clears off the hard point, but Lunars has another backup policy. Secondary Hellstorm comes out. Yes, Miami's in the hill for now, but a full flood on the way for Vancouver.
Trophies are down, and they find that kill into the guy in tube, so a good initial fight to start off this. He turned it into a 3v3 because Metal gets a trade. He's just doing everything he can. throwing his shoulders, popping up little by little, and Miami able to withstand not one but two hellstorms here at the P5. 60-point difference as we go into our third set. But Vancouver just needs top mid.
Vancouver's hitting the brakes here though, Jay. Lunar's shut down. Hold on a second. That's 3 dead. Miami able to open up P1, not give up any time to Vancouver. TJ over the top, can't find anything. Oh my goodness. Rencor's on 4 in a row, and Miami have a perfect surround with a pinch on the way.
Battles on 4 can only lead to 1. You know where the pressure's coming in now, though, if you are the Heretics. Just one more wave of kills is what you are looking for. Let's get it clean for dead, and you don't find the initial 2.
Super's able to get 1. Metals surrounds. Vancouver now starting to get into the hard point, but Metals is able to clear to see the second. Oh, Metals! He keeps Miami alive. We're not done with our Friday yet here, friends. 245, 220 Miami with the numbers.
And Vancouver just got to forfeit this, man. You got to set up at the new HP. You don't lose here, and you got to think Miami is thinking the same exact thing. But now it's all up to Rencor. Play keep away as long as you can.
Oh, and he's in a better spot to do just more than that. But 5 seconds left. Vancouver's trying to get to the hard point. Metals on the cross, not able to find the win. Just down to Tranks, able to find the win. Over towards P2.
It's on
One
Abe.
member in your way. It's on to Abe. Wins the first. Miami trying to flood to get him, and the trade is in. Numbers to the Heretics as long as DJ gets shut down, and he will.
Keeps going back and forth. Now, Lunars, you don't want to go for an ego. Chow went through mid-connector. Only finds one, but you got to stay alive. Teammates are now here.
Reinforcements for the Heretics have arrived. Contest is in for Abe. Here come the rest of the Cirque. They've got the numbers. Traded back by Rencor. Metals on the cross. Oh, it's all 4 dead. Miami can win here. Vancouver spawning out.
All the way in Africa, you got to go straight to the hard point. Closest possible chance that you have. And Metals is playing the cutoff. 2 in favor, all 3 in favor. And Miami are looking to steal this one away.
TJ has to get there. He's not able to. Are you kidding me? It's an absolute breakdown for Vancouver. They needed 4 seconds,
Brother,
off of the last 5th hard point, and they can't find a win anywhere.
that is unacceptable if you are Vancouver. At the ending of that P4, you need 5 to 6 seconds going into P5. You have 2 Hellstorms and can't get them out the HP. Miami are just funneling their way to the hard point at P1. Trade, trade, trade. Multiple times where an individual had to pop a multi-kill to still give them the advantage. Vancouver were just antsy. They were just going one by one, getting picked off. The only one who plays the rotation towards the end is Abe, because they were trying to get it done at that old time. But Miami just came to life at the right moment. Metals turned up in those final 3 HPs. And Vancouver, you gotta feel devastated after that one, man.
I'm sitting here like, wow, what a spark Lunars has been for this Vancouver team. They're up 90 points with Hellstorms. You're thinking, put the car in cruise control, we'll sit in the right lane and just go 55 the whole way. Nope. And all of a sudden, you just kind of feel this mental break. And what does that do to the confidence for a team like Vancouver where, again, it hasn't been good this year. You're finally starting to create some momentum, starting to create some opportunities versus what is, let's be honest, a pretty solid team on the other side. And you break down like that, dog? No.
Yeah, those are the unlosables, man. And if you're losing the unlosables, you're sitting there looking at your team. It's like, I don't know what it's going to take to beat these guys now. But thankfully, that's only in map number 1. As we take a look at it again, it's just trade fest after trade fest. Everyone flying and trying Metals, soaking up the hill time, popping multi-kills in the feed. It's just Vancouver didn't really just take their time as a collective unit. You see it on your mini-map. We're just going one by one. Now you're trying to set it up. You get 1 kill out of Abe. But now in the 3v1 scenario, we're not playing for the hill time. All we have to do is just trade Rencor, and we can do that.
Easier said than done, though, let's be honest. Rencor on land has been an animal. But still, even at this moment, you're like, okay, we're committing for the hill, but only kind of. Abe's not hitting with you. Like, what's the game call? Who's making that read right then? Like, are we actually playing to win on 1, or are we trying to hold them back and win the rotation to 2? Turns out we're not doing either.
Yeah, the only one that was off the rotation was Abe. So when all those gunfights are going down, Miami obviously couldn't win it at the P1. It's just the fundamentals came back to haunt Vancouver there. They were dominant. Yeah. 120 seconds uncontested again at P3. I thought it was the same exact story for Miami, not making the adjustments. When you got Rencor bailing you out of a lot of situations, almost earned himself 3 Hellstorms and 1 Hardpoint. The rookie of the year continues to shine, man.
Yeah, man. And you saw it not only over the top of the P1 time on the exit, but also locking things down for Miami at the opening time at 2. That is mind-blowing. Shout out Nameless. So now we got to find a way to get into a search and destroy. I mean, like, that game flow chart, oh no, it is so good. From 135 to 241, we're up 100 points. And we flatlined. Unbelievable.
And whenever we usually see flatlines out, it's because the team got beat up to shreds.
Yeah.
Not when you're almost up 100, and needing 6 seconds to close out the game. Had to be perfect Call of Duty from Miami.
And it was.
We usually say it all the time when a team is down 100. And it just doesn't get any better than that, man. Not going into a race, search destroy, Super drops the kill record earlier.
Yep.
At least ties it there with Craze. But if you're Vancouver, you dominated Carolina on this one, and you were able to not really allow Exceed to get comfortable with the sniper. That's got to be your focus here. Don't let Super get going.
I was about to say, but it feels like a different ball game comparing Exceed this weekend to Super this weekend. And I'm not going to lie to you, Jay. If I'm Miami, I am running it down round 1.
Oh, yeah.
I'm breaking you if I can.
Yeah, I'm doing something that completely catches you off guard. Our raid?
Dude, yeah.
Sending it down mid, right through pillars.
Something. I don't care what side you're on, defense or offense. We'll see if they've got the confidence to give that call some reality. I cannot believe that just happened. Woof, with a capital W. But like you said, both teams experienced the map here today. The biggest note, though, is again, Super was every definition of the word.
And it was Trace Tiki as well, so gotta be heads on a swivel if you're gonna attack over towards that B site. Gwyn is gonna rock out the sniper early on. TJ is trying to get some information, jumping over the wall. Suns and A's connecting. Sort of aware of what the setup is looking like, but Miami haven't peeked yet.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is a bit of an unpredictable setup here for Miami, trying to double stack stairs, but Gwyn on the crossback to ring is able to find Triggs for first blood. So now Super has to give away his position and try to be in a spot to where he can wrap back if need to. Metal's up top at Laundry. Almost able to find a counter pick onto A, who's got just a little bit of freedom to get the smoke down and then follow with the plant, thanks to Gwyn giving him some oversight.
Oh, but Super with the angle. The water set doesn't allow the bomb plant to go down, but TJ instantly makes up for that situation. 1v3 for Snooper. Does not have the sniper and is instantly gonna fall. A perfect round there from Surge, and that was all off the impact of Gwyn's sniper.
Yeah, it looked like that was a setup for Miami where 2 SMGs playing water steps looked like they want to maybe try to pull a quick route into Art, but don't get the chance to it. Definitely something uncharacteristic for an opening round, though. And like you said, Gwyn connects twice and already throws out kind of the power play of, okay, you got to respect me this map.
Yeah, and this angle right here is good enough for the first. And Rencor just trying to keep his team alive through top Laundry. Walks right into the crosshairs. Vancouver keeping up their raid dominance. Opening round was clean. Now to the defensive side they go.
You get to figure that Super, well, no, not going to snipe this round. Gwyn lurking over towards mid with Abe. Looks like he's also opted to not scope this round, so get some of that raw gunfight action over towards Laundry. Trake's trying to take it away, and he's already cleared the space out, but mid-map might become an issue here as Vancouver has already gotten into rocks.
He's the bomb carrier. Miami are going to commit to just taking Laundry away before we even think about this objective. Now I'm going to go for the plant. Vancouver potentially in position to spot him on the exit, but 45 seconds now.
Yeah, Trace can just finesse. Abe trying to win back this Laundry position that Miami has double stacked, and you can of course see that Rencor is hanging and holding. Looks like TJ is waiting for him to peek. You have to find success from the front though if you're Vancouver to force this player out. Here comes TJ, able to find the burst onto Rencor, no problem. But again, the post plan is largely just banking on the Laundry setup, and Vancouver haven't broken that yet, 18 seconds.
Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go quickly. Looters isn't gonna spot anyone behind him. Now a 1v3 for Gwyn. Not enough time to work with. Miami with the perfect post plant setup. Get the bomb down in the 4v4. Rencor doesn't budge on that pinch route. Because like you said, if they're overwhelming them towards Laundry, Rencor eventually has to give up that spot. You're able to sniff out Rencor for that kill. But that's when 25 seconds are already gotten away from you. Tie game now.
Yep. Also just another difference maker. Super not choosing to snipe there and be another rifle on the floor. Good stuff for Miami. Battling back into a 3v4 situation. That round to tie us at 1. And I imagine this defensive call for Miami is going to be a little bit more traditional for them. I don't expect them to do anything too wild. So we'll see if Super plays that scope angle over towards Laundry like he has in the past. No, he's going to go beat this time.
But this time they take mid away. Not going to allow Vancouver to be extremely comfortable. With Gwyn at least spots one on the cross. You have early information. A stunt is going to slow down TJ. Potentially might want to be the aggressor if you're Trace, but don't want to get caught.
Yeah. Abe will clear out Laundry. Metal's still the one trying to defend this. As Rencor says, okay, Trace is in a good enough spot. Let me come help out the defense here. No contact really though for Miami outside of that stun through mid. So Vancouver's going to go ahead and plant. Trace timing here, just checking for ring. Doesn't see anything post-plant 4v4.
Now you know if you're Miami that they are still trapped in towards ringside. They don't have anyone in a position towards Laundry. But Abe now in a crucial spot.
What a turn. TJ trying to contest through Zig, now being pressured out as the Laundry setup is starting to break down. Miami will get clearance. Lunars, backside ring, nice shots to the first. Not going to expect the second as Super is able to stay alive. TJ trying to come back over to the blade through pillars. It's a tight call. Able to find damage onto the first, stepping off his medals, and it's an easy follow-up. He's on 5 in a row through 3 rounds.
Pretty sure he just picked up the ace right there.
Agreed.
You are medals. Strikes for the first blood, trade onto the second. Locate the third guy in towards Art, and then just enough time on that game clock to hop off the defuse, knowing that Super does put down a couple shots. And able to clean up house there on the round for defense. Miami, 2 in a row.
We've seen Miami pull that defensive setup a couple of different times where they have medals outside Laundry, waiting to see if he can at least go 1-for-1 there. And it's worked out nicely for him.
Yeah, and raid search and destroy, like, I know Vancouver have been playing it for quite some time. Like, it's very difficult to get that bomb down at A, but when you do, without Laundry control, you're basically trapped with yourself. So, got to make some adjustments there.
Well, Super
finally got the snipe.
Yeah, make the decision for it. Drake's going to hit the water. Defense for Vancouver, close, but not in a spot to scout this. Abe at money window, now coming to assist. And up and through with the water goes Trace. Maybe a chance to find him over the backside of the chairs. Not the case. TJ for first blood. The post-plant setup is all up towards bedroom. Watch this 1v1 in the middle of the map. Gwyn in some trouble. He'll do the regen off and finds the win versus medals. But it's a scope that's up for Super. And playing top bedroom, he can just keep peeking, throwing shoulders. Connects onto a second. Super looking for more. Doesn't quite get the snap. Just down to Redcore. 1v2 gets the knife. Down to 13 seconds, he wants another lunge kill. It's a race. Can Lunars get there? Oh, it's close. He may have got it at 7.6.
He got it. He got it.
Your confidence is way higher than mine.
He got it. You get there at 7.6, that's good enough. All you needed was an extra millisecond if you are Rencore. Stalling out the game clock. But they just get caught off guard there. Once Trace falls, you lose that one-on-one through top mid. You almost pull away in the 2v4. But at the right time, you slide, and with 0.1 on the clock, you get the defuse and tie the game. Wow.
Okay, here we go. That, keep in mind, is Super's first scope life off the table, as well as Miami are going to go back to the same aggressive setup, and Gwyn just has no way to respond to that. Although I like this adjustment for Vancouver. It's okay, you want to double hit through mid, we'll go ahead and plant and just get ourselves set up.
Now everyone regrouping. One side of the map, you gain info on the TJ. I don't know how he's called out in that position. But now in a 4v2. It's just process of elimination. Everyone go for a team child, do not go for one-on-ones. And now it's a 1v3.
Yeah, and they already know where Lunars is. All 3 guns up. Smoke fades. Super tagged, but still alive and kicking, and Lunars will eventually be found. Medals. 9-2 on another major spree, 4 in a row.
They said, what you just have, Super? 16? Hold on. We ain't around 5. I already got 9. Looking to break that record instantly into our next attempt here on Raid. But that's just a blind counter that works out in favor of Miami, because you send everyone through the middle of the map, catch the island player, then regroup back together, get that info, the bomb goes down, and it's just super easy when you catch TJ out.
It's the right idea for Vancouver to plant there. Just,
Yeah,
they
100%.
didn't have a commitment on where they were setting up their post plant. Like you said, TJ just gets caught in no man's land.
It just doesn't work at Tiki.
Yeah.
Like, if you
Yeah.
plan it towards B, your best bet is bedroom. And when you give up that free kill, turn it into a 4v2, which is process of elimination with the numbers, easy route for Miami.
Lots of names over towards driveway this side. Vancouver throw a lot of the early utility that direction, but I don't think it gets any tags onto Miami's setup. So you've already got a lot of space for free here if you're the Heretics. And Metals working with Trakes, very similar to one of their offenses. Careful, tiptoeing on the edge, able to get a read that the defense is here. And it looks like they want to play for the kills.
Oh yeah, Trakes doesn't want to get caught. He is the bomb carrier, but Metals is playing super aggressive. The amount of confidence that's going through his veins. Not afraid of the child. Give me kill number 3. Looking for the ace. It's TJ in a 1v2.
Are we kidding for Metals? What a call to chow through sidesteps like that. And now TJ behind Van, the last one left. Redcore,
Wait a minute.
falls, hold on a second, but doesn't make a difference. Metals is in takeover mode. And now all of a sudden he's 13-2 on the major streak.
Brother, that is 2 rounds, maybe 3, where he has found an ace. Everyone's sitting a little bit weak, but Metals isn't going to shy away from the chow. Single-handedly getting it done right now for Miami, and I know he ends that round on 8 in a row. Don't know what it does to the score, but if he's got a Hellstorm, you can add another round to the tally guaranteed. Just 3 kills away from tying the record. Give him one more ace, why don't you?
For real. Unbelievable out of Miami. So now they've got a pretty significant lead. You can play around with your setup just a touch. Metals does get tagged out, but has the Hellstorm. Do you set up to use it this round?
100%.
Looks like the setup would say yes, and that's indeed the case. Super and Gwyn through trade with the scopes. And now it's just down to the call-outs of where the rest of the Surge are. Trakes picks up the drop scope, finds Lunars, and we have a 3v2 for Miami.
You got him trapped in towards money. Can you curve it in, potentially find a kill? You don't, but you have all the information. Trying to clutch up his TJ and Abe. You spot out Rencore. He's not going to go for a one-on-one fight, while Trakes on the opposite side is just playing for the trap. And this is the guy you don't want to chow.
No, I mean, he's unkillable right now. 14-2, 9 in a row, and Rencore's not going to lose that. Miami quickly to map point. And I think we're just on kill race alert now. if we don't get Metals off the rip, I don't know. I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, if I'm Miami, let's chalk a couple rounds up. Let's let this guy break the record. He's on fire right now. I would have loved to take a chance to look at that replay for both snipes, because you kill each other
often, yeah.
But then Trakes picks up, finds a second kill with the boomstick. Got him trapped towards money. He just cannot get out. Miami at game point.
Surge just cannot do anything against Metals, who has largely been doing this by himself. Granted, he's also taken down a lot of players who are low health, but he will be the bomb carrier. Early smoke for Miami. Diving straight onto the B point and looking for the plant. And Vancouver are looking to play retake through mid.
You know where the play is coming in. Bomb goes down. Gwyn has a lot of information. There's 2 players on this side of the map, but it's Metal watching mid steps. Give him one more kill for the record. He can't find it. 2v2.
Gwyn still has a scope up though, so can challenge this top bedroom position, but he's now the last one standing. Just be generous about your shoulders, and that will do it. Miami not slowing down after the dramatic comeback in map number 1 sees Metals contesting for Super's record, and it just feels like spirit is broken right now in the Surge camp.
Yeah, Metals just giving the chocolate out right there. Right to the behind of everyone on the side of Vancouver. 15-3, 5.0 KD, multiple rounds with the ace. Super just couldn't let him, break that record there, but that was a turnaround that was so fast for Miami. It was 2-2 at a point. You blink, it's 6-2. Metals takeover from start to finish.
It just feels like spirit's completely broken for Vancouver.
Without question, man.
Man, 15-3. Super, to be fair, still puts up 1,100 damage to 7-5, so giving some credit for a lot of those low health pools that Metals is cleaning up, but I mean, it's just another one of those performances for Vancouver where it just feels like we're not strat calling in the mid-round all that well. We're not making commitment calls on post plants, even if they're in reaction form. Most specifically, that round where, again, we're over at B. We get the smoke plant at 3v4, but what are we doing in the post plant? It just feels like we're just not there right now for Surge.
Yeah, they had 2 rounds like that. You think about that one over towards B, but even the A bomb site where you don't push out laundry and now you're trapped in towards ring. Not ideal if you're Vancouver, down 0-2, backs against the wall, potentially gonna go home top 8, but Miami, you're feeling great.
Yeah, that's massive. The comeback effort plus another takeover. Yeah, Heretics are feeling pretty positive right now. Overload to come to finish off our Elimination Friday. Don't go far. I feel like we're in for some more drama. We'll be right back.
Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the CDL. Scuff, official controller of the CDL. Start the season strong with the 2026 Call of Duty League Pack. Grab yourself the CDL operator by scanning the QR code on screen or check it out in the Call of Duty store in-game now.
Let's find out who's built for the big stage.
Heretics ready to dive in. Thanks, Tim. 4 and Snoopy. Come on, wants the ball. But Hydra with the switch impossible. He's making top room. So damn happy. Insights. Down a bruiser. Dominance on the grandest stage.
Piss on him. Wait, try the bomb.
We're playing the bomb. Oh my god.
God, ball. Come on, give it to me.
Bomb is armed.
No. I don't know if he gets sound.
Behind you.
This is awful. I'm going with Toronto. I got Toronto winning this series. I think they get it done in 4.
You're like a mix of George Washington and a Disney prince.
What does that do?
LAG.
Oh, okay. Production, this is a sick, weird joke. Give me my pick back now, bro.
Flipping this.
I'm going LA Thieves. Got him.
Oh, the crayons I broke the crayon box.
Shotzi, I got Texas, baby.
Wait, did you just baby into swapping it?
Trap, bro.
Where did you pull that out from?
Right.
What the hell is going on in Columbus?
We never know what's going on with Maven. In the venue, face down by Red Jumpsuit Apparatus is playing, and that might be the story of the Vancouver Surge right now. Not looking great, and especially this series, but I don't know. It feels like the conversation may extend beyond just this series if we can't find a bounce back here at map 3.
Oh yeah, we need it, man. We need it. And you think about this when this roster was first formed, when TJ entered the building, this was the map that started that reversal versus Boston. So still got a little bit of hope. Definitely still thinking about that map number 1, and especially what Metals just did to you in that Surge or Destroy. But until that opposite side says 3 to 1 side, you gotta continue to fight. Because for such a young team, sometimes people say you don't really have a lot to play for. But these guys know that there's heavy pressure on them to potentially still be in the league after this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much riding on it. I mean, every time we get to a major 1, we're looking at the bottom 4 teams with the same attention to detail of what happens when we get onto land. And to be fair, there have been moments of inspiration from Vancouver, but this series, I think, extinguishes almost all of that, just based on how map 1 went. And I think on the other side, just kind of talking to the Miami story, you're sitting here like, wow, we're gross. Let's just kick these guys to the curb and start talking about tomorrow as fast as we possibly can. So it feels like a confidence-boosting map for Miami, whereas for Vancouver, it's about maybe season saving for the individuals that are on the stage.
Yeah, just need to stay alive, man. Need to fly on your slaying prowess here on Scar Overload. The map can sometimes come very, very quickly, but when you take a look at this bracket, there's a lot of good teams remaining. Obviously, everything through the winners bracket side will go down tomorrow. That's going to be a show.
Yeah, dude.
With FaZe and Falcons to start off that day. Those are 2 teams that were sitting in top 4 seeds, so that's going to be a banger.
I know it. I know it. On the other side, dude, talk about those upper bracket semis. How about Thieves looking clean 3-0 on their opening day? Get Paris, who I would say just kind of based on how the first day went. Would you say that they looked the most impressive day 1? I think that's how I would classify Paris.
Paris?
Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah.
Because they were able to face adversity early on into the hard points and then dominate them. You also had Sib going crazy, but then in an overload, you're down 0-2 versus Koi, and you're thinking they're going to run away with it, and then you don't allow them to score ever again. So Paris, without question, on the top dog going into tomorrow.
G2 Optic, what are your thoughts there?
Ooh, that matchup right there, I'm telling you, don't underestimate the underdog. Because if you give G2 one of those submachine gun maps, Skies, for some reason, is more comfortable with an SMG in his hands than an AR. And Escher and Kremp, you know what those guys are capable of. Optic do win an overload, though. That was the biggest thing that I was thinking that they needed to get underneath their belt, especially early into the tournament, for them to make a deep run. It's just that matchup. I don't know.
Were you more impressed with G2 or Optic yesterday?
Definitely G2 with the way that they won versus FaZe, because everybody had FaZe on such a high pedestal, and every single map, you just take that away from them. Search and Destroy was flawless. You found 8 First Bloods in the SMD, and in the Overload, you had a 2-5 comeback with 2 minutes left. So all the momentum for sure on G2 side.
Other side of that conversation, the winner of this match, I believe, plays the loser of that match. I think the loser of Optic and Minnesota fall down to play the winner of this one. So lots on the line there, especially I think if you're an Optic fan and the premise of potentially having to play the Heretics.
You don't want that.
Is Vico in the building?
He might make an appearance.
We'll see how it all unfolds tomorrow. But for now, we have to consider what we still have on stage. And I think for the most part, you know, we talked a little bit when we had Miami earlier today that, hey, they are finding their fuel on this mode all of a sudden. It feels like the last couple of weeks it's gotten better. It felt really timid, really reserved out of Miami, trying to find the perfect conditions. Now it feels like they're getting a little bit looser, and that's been huge for them finding success overall. Yeah,
it's been a perfect combination of what you want to happen if you are Miami. Initially, you started the season as one of the best hardpoint teams in the game. You get a new guy into the mix. You got to figure out your search and destroy in your overloads. And at LAN, you've already been able to put it together. What is that, like 3-1 in SD overall?
Yeah.
Trakes is looking a lot more comfortable. Obviously, Meadows isn't going to shy away from the child, knowing that he's got Super watching over him. And Rancor is just the backbone of this team. Mr. Ice.
It's been good, man. It really has. And I think for Miami fans, it's nice to see the team finding form early in the year. And, you know, to be fair, like, we did see them make long runs last year at majors in particular. I think it's just, you know, seeing what we saw early and having questions about where is the search going to be, where is the overload going to be, especially in December. Now all of a sudden we're starting to get a couple of answers, and it feels like they're just at a point where it's let's just build out the map pool.
Yeah.
And we've gotten that a lot today, especially with the rate search as we're watching the highlight package.
And it's a lot easier when you don't really make a lot of roster changes. You keep 3 of the 4 core roster that put you on the pedestal all of last season. And a lot of it is due to what this guy has done so far. We always said it last year, whenever this guy goes off, Miami stand a pretty good chance.
Yeah.
And with him putting up numbers like that on that map number 2, that's unmatchable. First in every category.
Yeah, and I will say, like, talking the general narrative surrounding Miami, if we continue to go back to if Metals pops off, Miami wins, that's great news because, let's be honest, all the focus at the beginning of the year is on Trakes. For one reason or another. Shout out Aroma. But I think the thing about it is now your rookie is showing up across all 3 modes. He's doing the dirty work, I think, especially when it comes to what he's doing in Search. So you do need to kind of keep your focus on players like Super, who were in takeover mode, players like Rencor, who were a sudden surge to this Miami team. And of course, like we talked about all through last year, if Metals is popping off, Miami typically wins.
You know what's so scary too is that Miami figured out what their identity was last season after Super gets picked up. Now you pick up Trakes to start off the year. So it was a slow start in Search and Destroy in the overloads, but they are quickly turning that around, man. So it's not going to take Miami so much time like it did last season to be one of those squads that you simply just don't want to play against because they got Hardpoints almost on lock. They just need to figure out their breaks. Well, S&Ds are starting to get more consistent, and their overload, they're finding their slang.
Yeah, I was going to say the consistency is always a big key, especially when you start to talk about what's coming up next. Stage 2, round robins against every team in the league. First time we've seen that. Whereas, you know, again, if you're looking at a team like Vancouver, who find themselves at the bottom of the standings with teams like Cloud9, yes, you get a win here in Dallas. That helps you a touch, but you're going to get 11 games in Stage 2. You've got to have something working to start getting some points.
And you're going to be playing every single team. So at the end of Stage 2 all-on matches, we're going to know who's the best and who is the worst. So you got to go through every single level of Call of Duty. It's the best teams in the world. But finally, we are ready to load in. Into the map number 3 we go.
See what we get. Scar. Here for it, obviously. If I wasn't here for it,
I'd be like, where you at now?
Solo casted it.
Yeah.
Finish on your Friday. And another, again, talking about that conversation for Miami's map pool. Can they add another one into the mix here? Because we've really seen them largely, especially lately, play off of exposure. So something to learn here if you're a Miami fan. For Vancouver, again, it's trying to about save this series and potentially your season as a tenured CDL pro. We'll see how things unfold as Trax has already found one, and Metals will get through on this route. And with the win around the back, now you could possibly set up an early grab.
Yeah, you better hope that Gwyn has an angle to keep the EMP right in front of him. But he's watching it from long distance. We're running right up the middle of the map. And that's already 4 dead with Surge spawning in the back of their base. This is not the start you were looking for.
Yeah. Good crossing angle from Trax on 4. Lunars clears out one of the spawn trappers, win the other. So now it is just down to Trax, and he's already got 5. Over to the pistol, looking for an angle, finds himself a corner. A couple of shots up and over the fence, not quite able to find the kill, but sets up Rancor, not quite for the double. And Metals will have to kind of pause and wait for a moment.
Yeah, unless Super pops all 3 here. Because Gwyn is going for a flank. He does get caught. So there's only one player in position, and no one is watching the EMP. Yeah, I think Vancouver is still thinking about map number 1 because this is just completely out of sync.
They do realize we're playing Overload, right? This has not been a good start for Surge. Trax on an 8-1 start. Tagged up, going to play just bottom side of the Vancouver base. You do have a couple of players for Surge towards Motel, and Miami are heavy investing into trying to set up the spawn trap here. TJ is not going to recognize that he had an opportunity to potentially get a grab and go, but it is Gwyn for a couple of kills to reset how this map is folding out right now.
Yeah, but you still got to take care of the guys in your spawn. Super is influencing you to spawn consistently over towards White Wall. So you know there's players in your base. We're just not finding the kills. And now Super on the tremendous route finds kill number 3. The only one that can stop it is Gwyn, and he gets pistoled. And that's already 3-0 in less than 2 minutes.
What is happening? If we didn't feel like it was already kind of a mental break after the hard point and the search, my guy, that is a 2-minute, not even. Oh, I was gonna say 2-minute halftime, still a chance for it. Defense stepping up, and Metals will drop. Last one alive is Super. Does find the win, but too many members spawn up close. We'll see a little bit more of this first half.
Okay, Vancouver, let's go. We need to come alive here. We need to start fighting some gunfights and put ourselves in position to take the map control away. It's Gwyn again, popping a double. Able to leave out a backside of blue. But when you're up by 3, you can hit some of these long routes, so Super's gonna find one off the spawn. The other pinch is coming in, you get bad timing, but it's a 1v3, Lunar's last man standing.
And you can try to move the spawns around a little bit longer, but Lunar's double will have things, again, just taking a moment of pause. Keep your eye on number 8, A playing around the back. He should be able to get a free route here into Metals, and that could lead to a grab-and-go situation as Metals will drop. Super trying to hold them at mid, able to find one to the pistol, not quite able to find the second, but enough time killed for Miami to spawn up.
Now your lead blocker is Abe, sitting at top Motel. Looking for an opening kill, does find one, but everybody else is falling like flies. Reset comes in, 1:40 still left to play with. Vancouver are just consistently on the back foot, man. You have no map control, you can't breathe.
A couple of gunfights at least stabilizing the map just a touch. Vancouver could find a way to score that would give some forgiveness to how this map had started. TJ over the top of plane, trying to get a read. Misses one, able to find the other. Miami trying to play forward to move the spawn drop, but need to turn to deal with TJ as he's gotten free through mid.
Okay, we clear out our base. Our lead blocker is TJ. He needs to win a one-on-one to open up this lane. Potentially let one by you on the pinch. You take care of Rencore, TJ gets nothing done, and now you're gonna slow down again.
Dave up top, able to find the opener, but the EMP carrier will drop. Super turns that into another. Up top, Lunar's in some trouble. Able to stay alive for now, has help as the spawns for the surge have them moving through Motel quickly. EMP still down right in front of the steps, but TJ trying to force it. No, not quite able to, as the EMP will reset back into mid.
35 seconds now for Surge to get one on the round. Miami are more than happy to just play keep away, but you see how they're trying to set up this final push. Drake's working on this deep pinch, knowing that Vancouver eventually have to give it on up. But it's the timings that work in favor of Lunars. TJ finds a second, that's 3 dead. Someone retrieve the EMP.
Super elusive, able to slip away. Does he get an angle? He's able to find one. Here comes the cross from Lunars. He's low,
there we go.
Able to get it through the finish line. And if Abe can find a kill, maybe he could get on over, but no. We're just gonna see this half come to an end, so, okay. Atrocious start for Vancouver.
Awful.
But we get on the board. We're only down 2. This is still doable.
Yeah, definitely still doable, but just that first 3 minutes of that game. It's like they never played it before, watching some of those arrows. You give up 3 scores in less than 2 minutes. But at least you show some fight here at the end. Potentially the stronger side there for Miami. Vancouver are looking to have the same exact response, but you just can't allow people to live in your base. And if you do, you got to work the OE and play the reset. You're just not doing either one in sync.
Yeah.
Now backs against the wall, down 2. Got to score quick.
But at least we're starting to heat back up here a little bit. Let's see what the breakoff looks like for Vancouver. Miami full flood on their way over. Nades, of course, going to be active over the top of this helicopter crash site. Quinn trying to watch the cutoff. Surprised by Metals. Miami with the opening first blood and trying to take away space, but halted as Vancouver could stabilize just a touch early.
Big kill out of TJ, but it's Drake who makes him pay for it. He lines up 3 off the spawn, and now you know that he's pushed up on the objective. Just gotta take care of him and hope that your teammate that's out finds a kill, but Abe falls, Trace is still alive.
And he's still finessing, able to get a little bit of help from Rencore. Trying to get off the regen. Still down to 2 HP. Now finally back to full. Still streaking 5 in a row, but will drop. Super is able to pick up the EMP, but not do too much with it. And a little bit of defensive stand comes through here for Vancouver.
Yeah, a little bit of focusing on the slang right there to Miami. Definitely had an opportunity to get another one tallied, but now the EMP over towards Motel. Down to reset in the next 5 seconds, and that's exactly what happens off of the back of the Super's double. Another one right in the front of him. TJ, you want to value your life or go for the ego, child? Good enough, he finds it.
Okay. Possible spark plug right there as Vancouver have a little bit of forward pressure past the 50-yard line, but Abe loses the 1v1 from the plane. Drake's understanding that TJ's somewhere right in front of him, but he also needs to play his life as Vancouver starts to step up. Quinn stepping over, trying to get the up and over, not going to work. Drake's now trying to take away the space. I know they got one more member somewhere at mid, but they're not able to find him. It's Abe for at least to stabilize and kill 3:20 on the clock.
Just keep on holding the line if you are Miami. Pinstripe kill feed, but it's more highlighted in orange. So Miami, no need to sweat yet. Long routes developing for Drake's. Has a one-on-one and wins it through top green. So now Vancouver trapped in the middle of the map. Got to turn you around. There's pressure everywhere, and now that's already 4 dead. Here we go, potentially another score.
Yeah, Super's got it. 2 lead blockers in front. He avoids the opening nades, slips past the crossing angle, and Super will catch another score. 4-1 the count. Good exit kills, though, for Vancouver, leaving Rencore by himself, but he's in the most powerful position on the map, and he will find himself one, but a good shutdown from Gwyn has Vancouver potentially looking for an execute.
Yeah, you have the map control that you want. Just need to slay your way through the middle of the map. Retrieve the EMP. But every time you're thinking about it, you're losing those fights. Another 4 dead in the feed for Miami. And you already have Super in the spawn. Doesn't lead to any kills, but now you guarantee yourself all the map control.
Yeah, and this is a great position for Drakes to try to stop any reinforcements from getting high ground control. He only is able to find one. Metals up and through the window. Comes in a bit surprisingly so as TJ falls before Metals hits this route. So trying to set up the right positions are Miami. They're going to get a grab out of Rencor. As long as he can make it past the mid-cut, could be a score, but Lunars is there to meet him.
Yeah, now Metals just don't allow him to get it and walk away. Just find every kill that you possibly can. Only find one. It's 2v2 still for the map control. EMP retrieved on the side of Surge. You just need the opening kills to go your way, and you're still not finding them.
Drake's just sliding through mid. Dude, what a story for Drake's. 29 and 20. And it looks like with a minute 30 on the clock, this is pretty much just a victory lap. And he's doing his thing out here. I'll tell you what, man, what a story coming out of Challengers last year, a bit unexpectedly so. And now an opportunity to see Miami get it to another day.
Now Rencor, minute 20. Oh, EMP right in front of me. All I need is one kill. And now you're forcing all of Vancouver to turn around and try to locate where you are. And spot him. If you are Abe, you get the kill. You still had TJ clearing out space towards mid-tank, so 2 dead. EMP right up the middle of the map. Another score there for Vancouver. They still got time.
Still got time. Can't step off the gas here if you're Miami just yet. And how about Abe? He's kind of slipped the net. Trakes was looking for him initially, but they've lost him. Rencor's nade lands, and that will reveal that Abe is playing from behind. Nice shots, though. Finds himself a second. Win gets one more, and a chance to just grab and go here. Spawns are all the way out towards White Wall. Lunars gets across. Can he survive the incoming nades? Yes! And now we're at 35 seconds, and Vancouver's only down 1.
And it's Abe, man. Abe single-handedly staying alive in the spawn on 4 in a row. Almost finds kill number 5. But now final 25 seconds. You give yourself one last shot. But you go 3 dead, all 4 dead at the wrong time. You got to get the map control and retrieve the EMP for you to tie this game.
And you can see Miami is just going to grab it, play over towards Motel, and just stay alive. And the trades are looking decent for now. Metals in some pressure here. Pistol works out for the first, but Vancouver will have a chance to see this thing go into and maybe one more push. Rencor's the only one still alive, but that's all you need. He finds you 2. Lunar's able to finish things off here to possibly create one more chance. 22 seconds, you got to go.
We got to go through playing. You cannot try to bully your way through the middle of the map because time is ticking. Final 15 seconds.
But TJ drops over towards White Wall, and the EMP carrier will fall. A late charge for Vancouver, not enough. And Miami will see them clean up a 3-0. Most impressively, though, that Hardpoint comeback, I think, will live in their minds in terms of confidence boosting going into tomorrow.
Yeah, man, that map number 1 truly was the definition of this series. Because Vancouver take it, they look way different in that search and destroy, playing with more confidence. And potentially a different result here, but for the first 90 seconds, you give up 3 scores. Without anyone watching over the EMP, or if you were, you didn't really have the proper angle to watch the EMP. So you give the early lead to Miami. On the second half, they're just able to slow down, play more keep away, and more slay heavy. And even though you gave a late game heroic push, potentially tying that game and forcing overtime, it's Rencor again. Mr. Bailout with that AR continues to shine.
That's inspiring stuff for Miami. Seeing him be as consistent as he was on land last year, showing up to Dallas and being able to do the same thing, impressive stuff. But it's Trakes, man. 34 and 25, 11 assists, 26 non-traded. I'm impressed, man. Again, it's just a heck of a story. Kid from Argentina gets his first real good look at North American Challengers last year, instantly picked up to fill a vacancy unexpectedly out of Miami, and he's really been an X factor today, at least for Miami.
Oh yeah, he's doing the same exact role that Real's doing, and you saw what Real did for Koi. That leads to nothing. Trakes is more comfortable